Good morning, kiddos. Miss Aura here. Today is April 15. This video is for my sixth graders, and our focus for today is writing. So let's get started. Sixth graders, I want to go over some of your writing standards. You are expected to be able to write narratives, that means stories, either real or imagined, using experiences or events using effective technique, relevant descriptive details, and well-structured event sequences. Basically, what that means is your story has to make sense and it has to have some details in it, and the sequence of the events have to be in some type of order. Now, writing a story will usually takes us a long time, right? We've been writing, I think before we left school, we had started our narrative writing, and it's been taking a while. Now, today's focus is on how to make our writing better, right? And one way to do that is to be able to understand how to use our language skills. So, our focus for today is being able to show that we know how to write and speak English properly by focusing on the usage of pronouns. All right? So, as sixth graders, you need to be able to show that you know how to read and write and speak English properly. And as sixth graders, part of your standards is to be able to know the different types of pronouns and how to use them. You also need to know that there are different types of pronouns, such as subjective, objective, possessive, and intensive, and use them accordingly. You also have to be able to recognize and correct inappropriate shifts in pronoun number and person. I will show you what that means in the lesson. And the last standard is you need to be able to recognize and correct any vague pronouns. That means if the pronoun is being used, do we know what it's referring to? If not, then we need to be able to fix that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So there are different types of pronouns, like the standard said. There are subjective, objective, possessive, and intensive. Uh, Now, here's a chart that I found on ESL.com, and this really helps me understand the different types of pronouns. So first, let's look at subject pronouns. Subjects in the sentence usually refers to the person or the thing that's doing the action. The object is the person or the thing that is receiving the action or the actions being done to them. So if you look at the sentence, I love you, right? The subject is I, that's the pronoun I, because I am doing the loving, right? I love. And the object right here is the second person, you. You is receiving the love. You're receiving the action. I love you. So you need to be able to know how to use these pronouns. Now, if you want to say the sentence differently, if you want to start with the you, saying that uh, if I want to say that somebody loves me, right? I can't say you love I, right? I can't say that. You love I. No, I have to say you love me. Or somebody, he loves me. Or she loves me. Or they love me. It loves me. That makes sense, right? So subject pronoun, again, does the actions. Object pronouns receives the actions. Now, possessive pronouns shows ownership. Who does it belong to? It belongs to, it's mine. That pair of shoes, those pair of shoes are mine. I bought it myself, right? Intensive pronouns, myself. I did that by myself. So if you look at the first person, meaning referring to the you, the speaker, right? If you're the one speaking, these are the different first person pronouns: I, me, my, mine, and myself. You're talking to somebody, or the second person would be the second person pronoun are you, your, yours, yourself. Third person male pronoun: he, him, his, himself. If the pronoun is referring to a third person female, you'll use she if that's the subject, her if it's an object, her for possessive adjective, hers for possessive pronouns, and herself for that intensive pronoun. She did that by herself. She went there by herself. Now, if it's third person but it's for a thing, we use it. It's non-gender, right? It's. It's not used with possessive pronoun. It's possessive adjective. So that if something belongs to a thing, we say it's. Doing something by itself. Oh, that the car moved by itself. Itself. Now, these are plural pronouns. That means it's more than one. Notice these are singular. You're referring to just one thing, right? These are all one thing. Now, if you're talking about more than one pronoun, more than one, we use these: we, us, our, ours, ourselves. You, your, yours, yourselves. They, them, their, theirs, themselves. Knowing how and when to use these is your standard. So let's take a look at the passage we read about 2-3 weeks ago. We will go ahead and do that on part 2 of this lesson. This video is running a little long, so I'm going ahead and going to stop it here. Click the part 2 of this video to continue this lesson. Okay, see you there.